been so long. Too long. What is that cable? I see. Oh, guess who's back? Sort of. In the most miserable way. Oh my God, that's pathetic. Pathetic. Admittedly, it's really hot. I don't think I want to wipe myself on that because that has oil on it. I guess I'm just not doing that. I'm just going to be all sweaty for you. Guess who's back? Yep, I'm back. Oh boy, remember to guard your privacy. Okay. Janelle, how the heck are you? Has it not been forever or what? Let me point this fan at me because it's really quite uncomfortably warm. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. Yes. Oh, yeah. Now I got a fan on me. Whoo, Mittens 101, how are you? So many mittens. Burn&Learn, I did it. Oh, God, it's been so long. Where did my glasses? Here they are. Oh, just miserable is all I can say. Meckberg, hello to you. Get my glasses on, I can see. Rebecca Haskell, how the heck are you? Now I can see what's going on. So, yeah, back on the torture device. Isn't it fun? Not at all. I am, I think, possibly the most miserably unfit I've been in a very, very long time. And just feeling it. Like all that wonderful British cooking and apple cider beverages and things have just, oh my God, I'm just, and then Prague and New Zealand and oh my God, just too much. I've been having way too much fun and eating way too much. And I just really struggling to get myself back into this again. And I think one of the things for me today was just I'm feeling low, and I realized that's probably a big part of that is probably to do with not having the exercise I need to have. So feeling a little low. That said, not terribly low. I'm not good at being low for very long. But having just done that, it just things just feel better. I feel like I've accomplished something today. Although I did read a script that I have to do next month. Next month I'm doing an episode of a show that I'm rather looking forward to out in Newfoundland, which should be really, really good. You're alive and hot. I am very, very hot and sort of alive. And where'd all my hair go? I've got like it's all back here now. Hello. Look at that. That's a look, isn't it? How's that? Oh boy. I think I'll grow that a bit. Maybe it's time to start doing that sweeping forward and across, that kind of thing. No, it doesn't. Oh my God, forget it. Anyways, greetings, Dr. McKay from Red Cosmonaut. How are you doing, Red Cosmonaut? Ben Palmer. Is this a hostage situation? It does look a bit like that, doesn't it? I need to like hold up a time and date. I just checked the YouTube video. So Burn&Learn, yes, and as I say, it was just a miserable one. First off, I was like, I checked the time at like 5 minutes, thinking I was like, a good way through, and I'm like, 5 minutes, oh my God. So I basically, nothing basic about it. I literally did 20 minutes, which is just shameful, given that I was doing, what was I doing, like 40 minutes or something, at least 35 before. So I gotta gear up for that. Yeah, so gotta take a little bit more interest in the way I am looking after myself. So I thought I'd better do that. And also, what was really helpful was a lot of people in Basingstoke would come up and say, "Oh, I used to watch your Burn&Learns. What happened? And I'd love to see more of them." And I was so surprised that so many people actually watch these silly things that I don't know. I just sort of felt like I was a little bit of a fear of missing out there too. I was just like, I should go back to this. If it means something to other people as well, that's even better. So, anyways, we'll see what happens. This is one day, so I'm not exactly celebrating at this point, other than one day at a time. That's what I'm doing. One day at a time. I figure that this way I can feel slightly less guilty about the bowls of cereal I have before I go to bed. Thank you for coming to Basingstoke. I was enjoying to meet you, Owen Bandy. A pleasure. Thank you so much. Pika Delphin, hello. Gimpy G, how are you, Gimpy G? Well, it's been 3 months since your last video, Wayne. Is that right? 3 months. Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like that. And honestly, if you don't see a video for the pretty well 99.9% of the time, it's because I'm not exercising. So I'm sort of glad to be a little bit back at it. Rachel Haskell was missing them. Oh, good. Okay, well, that's nice. Flex the man belly. Flex them. I know. Maybe it was just hanging out with Jason Momoa in Basingstoke that made me realize, well, actually, all of them. They all look so freaking good. My God, how are they all so fit? Rachel looks extraordinary. Jason, of course, always looks fabulous. Yeah, so, Sherry Lyons really likes the Burn&Learns. Well, thank you very much, Sherry. It is nice to hear from you and listen to your perspective on life, the universe, and everything. Oh, thank you. Well, I don't know what perspectives I've got right now. I sat down to work on the email of awesomeness today, which is also something else that was on my list of things to do. Trying to sort of catch up now. It's been really weird. There's something about, I mean, look, I've had an absolutely joyous, wonderful time traveling around the world and meeting all these amazing people and visiting, Prusa Labs and the Royal Opera House in London and Basingstoke, meeting all these amazing people. And yeah, I've been having an amazing time. It just really threw me off my schedule, and I'm not much of a creature of schedule. I mean, I'm very, very good at being places a little early all the time because I'm terrified of being late. But setting my own schedule, I'm not as good at. So working on that. All right, let me check with the foggy glasses again. Hold you to it. Who said they'd hold me to it? Mandy, yes. Yeah, you did make a promise to come back, and I did say I would hold you to it. Good for you, Mandy. Thank you for that. Does it smell like physical education and cave cheese in there? It's a slight smell of goat. I think it's goat. Gord Juan Kenobi, hello to you. How are you, by the way, Gimpy G? I got to catch up with Gimpy G at some point soon, too. I did not go to Japan. I wish, Rebecca. That was Jason and Joe went to Osaka. They went to a Comic-Con in Osaka. Joe says there's not a big Stargate fan base in Japan for obvious reasons. They have all this amazing anime and their own amazing sci-fi stuff. So I don't know why they would need ours. But I think he went sort of partially with Jason, but they had an amazing time. It just sounds like an amazing place. Good, Gippy G's doing well. Maybe not Osaka. We're in Tokyo. Oh, very good, Kieran Downey. How was it catching up with the Atlantis crew? It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. It was. I was weirdly a little tentative about it because I was like, I haven't seen these guys for a long time, and Jason's such a giant freaking movie star now. I was a bit like, oh my God, last time I saw him on C, he was huge. He just got bigger and bigger, but he was absolutely lovely. Sort of came up and gave me a big hug and was really very flattering about the role I did on C. He seemed really quite happy about it. So that was really nice. And of course, Joe is always a pleasure. Finally got to hang out with David Blue a little bit, not a lot with David. David and I were just like ships in the night throughout most of the conference thing. I did though get to hang out with Mitch Pileggi, who's just one of my favorite people on the whole planet. Really, it's so weird being like truly friends with someone who I watched on television, X-Files for years, and then had the pleasure of working with, and I just love him as a person. He's just like such a wonderful person to hang out with, and I just love his perspective on stuff. And he's just the absolute loveliest guy. So we got to hang out with him, got to hang out with Jane. We got to see the Aurora Borealis. Saw Rainbow, had a lovely time with Rainbow. Rainbow and his partner and Jane and I went and did a little touristy stuff together and had a great time at the what was it called? The Gordon's Gin Distillery, which was kind of, I lifted the non-drinking ban for a bit while I was traveling, and so I thought the highlight of this what's it, not Gordon's Gin, what's it called? Bombay Sapphire Gin Distillery. That's what it was. So I went expecting a gin and tonic to be the highlight of the tour, but the place is absolutely gorgeous, and I highly recommend. I mean, it's weird to recommend something like this, but it's just such a beautiful building, and this wonderful artist has created this beautiful glass structure where they keep all of their sort of botanical stuff, not for production, but just to sort of demonstrate what the various different components are that go into these things. And just there's something about the fermentation process that I just find absolutely fascinating. Not just the drink at the end of it. I find the science behind it and the sort of the ingenuity required to get a bottle of gin out there. It's just kind of amazing. I can't imagine Jason being anything but magnanimous and friendly. Glad he's still like that. Yeah, he's absolutely lovely. I finally got a copy of Pin. Can't wait to watch it. Well, don't watch it alone. It's pretty creepy. Dog's Breakfast is still my favorite movie of all time. Oh, thank you very much. God, I've got I think sunblock running into my eyes as we speak. What do we got here? There was something just above that I missed. was watching a Planet of the Apes movie the other day and realized that David is responsible for the end of man. Yes, on the Rise of the Apes. You're welcome, Carl. Anytime I can remove humans from the mix, I can. Do you guys have like a WhatsApp group or something called Atlantis Crew? That's always funny. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? I don't think we're not that. I don't think most of them are that tech savvy. I think. I mean, Joe is pretty good with the stuff. He was always the first one with an iPhone and stuff. But Rainbow's very good, I think, social media wise. I think I get the sense that David Blue is as well. I've really been backing off. I was on Twitter the other day with was it this morning? Maybe a couple of silly little things that came up just while I was there. I've been doing these T-shirts and really enjoying making these T-shirts. This is one of them, by the way. My Tech Bandits. They're so comfortable too. I got this really nice material for these ones. It's really sweaty and gross. Sorry, I'm not a model for this. But I did a whole bunch of Stargate designs for that as well. So I'm quite enjoying that. And it was really cute to see people around the world showing up with these T-shirts. Like you'd show up at a convention in Prague, and there'd be someone wearing my Stargate with a lemon crossed out on it T-shirt, which I just did as sort of a lark, and it was amazing. Anyways, backing off from Twitter is always wise. Yeah, Wayne, no kidding, huh? I mean, there's still some amazing stuff out there. Like there's still some really, really great stuff on Twitter. I'm sort of amazed that a lot of the news channels are still on there as well. I was always disappointed with the writers over Rainbow's character. He had so much talent. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. Rainbow and I were talking about that, actually, because he struggled at first. I mean, I don't think he was sure that acting was the thing, when he first started out. He's like, now he's the technobabble guy now. He's amazing at that stuff. Like, he's really found a place for himself. He works all the time. He's got the right work ethic. I think he was pretty young. I think he was very young. And as you say, I don't think they really knew what to do. I think they wrote a character that I'm not sure he was exactly right for. And sort of, I feel like it would have been perhaps better if it was more tailored to him. But they didn't know that at the time. They didn't know what they were doing either. So I basically use Twitter to follow artists and sciencey stuff, and that's it. Yeah, Rebel Time Lady, that's what I try to do, but it's hard. I still find myself going like, what? Well, that's outrageous. And then I get all angry and frustrated about something, and that's the... then I'm sucked away for 25 minutes or whatever. 20th of October, get a new Stargate simulator to PC. Really? 20th of October, get a new Stargate simulator to PC. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what that is exactly. But Oscar. Hello, Oscar. David, how do I convince my friend who's new to Stargate that McKay is the most complex written character? She thinks I'm mad for even suggesting it. Also glad to see you back. McKay is the most complex written character. I don't know. I don't know. It's so funny. It doesn't seem like that complex to me because I used to know many people like this, and I still meet them. I still meet a lot of people who are definitely on the McKay spectrum, shall we say? It was funny. I was at the Basingstoke convention, and there were a lot of problems, a lot of growing pains there, and I really felt bad for the organizers because they were really struggling. But there were definitely some issues. And I noticed that there were some people responded very well to them. And well is the wrong term. I shouldn't be judgmental like that. But they responded in a very calm way. They were reeds in the wind, I lost it like once or twice on stuff just because it really bothered me being dragged away from signings because you got people lining up waiting for you to sign stuff, and then all of a sudden someone would come along and go like, oh, you got to be over there, and you're like, what? No, I can't leave all these people. And then they're like, no, you've got to, otherwise you're... So just basically it was like you were damned if you did and damned if you don't. If I'd stayed and signed stuff, then I would have screwed over other people, and there was a real problem with some of the scheduling that went down. And I think they're addressing that. But I noticed there were some people who were reeds in the wind, and there were other people who just went into panic mode, and you could see them getting worked up. And I realized that, 10, 15 years ago, I probably would have said, oh, F off and relax and buzz off and get to the back of the line or whatever, like that kind of stuff. I mean, I would have been much more flip about it. But just having sort of had friends and family go through stuff, and even myself to some extent, a much lesser extent, obviously. But I realized that you have to try to see it from their perspective, And if someone is on the spectrum in any way, that anxiety becomes so like palpable. Like it's just like this. I'm thinking of one person in particular who was incredibly upset, and I could see the people, the volunteers beginning to sort of move towards the security solution, where it's like, we got to get her out of here. She's losing it. And so sort of myself and my handler managed to sort of just sign a couple things for her and get her sorted out. But I could tell that the problem was not going to be solved by escalating it. Like it was an interesting. These things are always a really interesting study in people for me, because as sci-fi nerds, we're a certain breed of person. You know what I mean? There are definitely different types. We're not all the same, obviously, like they try to do on television. But I think there are certain things that, like certain elements of that spectrum that will that peak. And I, for one, have a real issue with lineups. If lineups are badly organized, I struggle. I really struggle, because I don't want to feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I don't want to feel like I'm like someone's butting in front of me or whatever. I get really upset. It's one of the reasons why I was so surprised by liking Disneyland, because Disneyland was so good at managing their lines. I was like, no, you know what? I don't mind lining up, knowing that I'm lining up like everyone else. That's fine. That's great. But when you start seeing people cutting in, and you do this, and someone's getting brought in for this, and it's just, and I understand that there are always going to be exceptions to that stuff. But I sort of saw a lot of that happening at the event, where people just like they got to catch a train in an hour, and they haven't got the things that they paid for, and I could see them freaking out. And anyways, it was luckily the Stargate folks are really nice. The Stargate actors were really good about I think doing what they could to make things happen. And again, these poor volunteers, they didn't know how to manage a lot of that stuff as well. So anyways, I do really appreciate people coming, and I got to say, as for all of its great, me, I'm used to being sweaty and miserable. That's my Burn&Learns. It was Basingstoke had like a heat wave, and it was miserably hot, but everyone was for the most part, everyone was really well. It was certainly very pleasant with me, and I really enjoyed talking to people, and I geeked out, got a bunch of really cool stuff. When I'm not so sweaty one day, I'll show you a couple of things I got. Really cool. I got a little Roman coin that someone had got with a detector, and they're doing their detectorist stuff, and this gorgeous Wi-Fi Bluetooth Stargate with a DHD and Spacegate edition pieces and stuff, and this guy just built this most beautiful. I was saying, like, dude, you've got to sell these, because these are, they would cost a fortune, but he literally only made 2 of them, one for himself, which I signed for him, and then another one that I've got here, which is just wow. It's pretty impressive, I got to say. All right, let me see if I can answer some questions here. He's a fantastic character, but definitely takes some time. Yes, FedEx Cow. It takes a little bit of time to get used to the old McKay. David, how do I convince... Oh, yeah, I've done that one. Okay, great. I still watch Stargate Atlantis from time to time. Great show. Do you think there will ever be a reboot? I don't know. I would be surprised if they don't do a Stargate. I'm not sure they'll do Stargate Atlantis again, but I feel like they should do that. My T-shirt of you got lots of compliments. Oh, great. Thanks, Mandy. Which one did you have, Mandy? It's great to see you. Oh, Janelle, thank you. Well, just have a look where Stargate started in SG-1 and where he ended up in character development from hated to beloved. Yeah, so some people still hate me, I'm sure. Moritz, it was an interesting character arc for sure. I'd gone camping with my brother, and it was more rough camping. We were Stargate out there with our walkie-talkies. It was fun. Always loved the show. Oh, good. Walkie-talkies are always fun. I do like you with Twitter, ignoring the negative stuff mostly. Ha! Thanks, Gimpy G. How do you do it, Lance? How do you handle those things? I just can't. I'm trying to. I would love to filter it out. Like, I've been trying to block things and delete followers and stuff in the hopes of trying to get just the stuff I want. There was even a part of me was thinking, like, do I need to sign up to get access to this stuff? I did see something promising today on one of, there was this really depressing video of Robin Williams talking to William H. Macy. Is that right? Can't remember now. I think it was him. Do I mean William H. Macy? No. Another guy. Anyways, 2 really amazing and now deceased actors, both of whom I believe killed themselves. in some way, shape, or form, whether it was drugs or obviously Robin Williams, not so, but well, I mean, drugs were involved, I'm sure, at some point. But anyways, there was a discussion between the two of them, and I was like, what is this? Like, it was such a weird chat between these two, and it was such a weird setting, and then at the bottom of this thing, it had a little context bar, and I clicked it and said, look, this video is actually fake. It's combined from a couple of different interviews and stuff, and I was like, this is great. Like, this is fantastic. So there's a little spark of hope there for the old the Twitterverse there, because I'm sorry, I still can't call it X. I think that bodes well. I like that approach to stuff, as long as it's accurate, I suppose. But it's just kind of nice to have some context on that stuff, because I think obviously when you're tweeting these little tiny bits of text, it's very easy not to take things out of context or to not understand where they're coming from. And of course now there's so much misinformation, and AI is going to help that even more. So, it's just going to get more and more of it. I do like you with Twitter. Most of the stuff we got that. We got there. Miss you on Tech Talk. Hope everything is okay between you guys. Yes, Thomas. Absolutely it is. The problem is my son. The problem is my son plays football. And by football, I mean soccer, because I'm trying to be British. And every Saturday he has a game exactly when they do Tech Talk. So I've not only have I been missing them because of just stuff on Saturdays. The problem is it's like Saturday in the middle of the day, and of course Saturday in the middle of the day is like sort of prime time for just about everything. So I really know I'd love to talk to them more, but I just haven't been able to. And we've always had the agreement that I would come in whenever I could, and if I can't, I can't. And they're really good about not guilting me out on that. They're lovely guys. No, there's no problems there at all. Gimpy, yes, I can't with the doom scrolling. I know the doom scrolling's terrible. That's the thing. Dude, you got to kiss Jewel. Everything else in your Atlantis career meaningless after that. Just kidding. Wayne's obsessed. My first BNI in a while. Currently sitting in hospital with a diabetic child. Best wishes. Oh dear, Kevin. Well, look after that kid. Hold him close. Make the most of it. And you guys should. How old is your diabetic child? Maybe you can. I don't know. Watch some cool anime or something together. I know Baz and I have been watching Fury Road and a bunch of Mad Max stuff, which has been really good, and also some Fallout as well. We were enjoying the Fallout episode. We're only 2 episodes in, but yeah, it's silly fun. It seems like silly fun. Oh my God, I've got a recommendation for everybody. Actually, Gimpy G, you'll probably like this one. There's if you go to Netflix, there is a documentary on the Ashley Madison hacks, which an old friend of mine recommended to me is a sort of a guilty pleasure, she was saying. And so I sat down, I freaking binged the entire thing, like in one sitting, because it's just so, like, trashy fun. Look, it's obviously not going to be for everyone, but I just found it absolutely fascinating. Just these alleged Christian fundamentalists who are on Ashley Madison trying to have affairs, and just, oh God, and it was just a really interesting look into the internet and the way corporations work, and just, I mean, it just sounds like a disaster in every freaking way. And from a moral standpoint, whatever, cheater's gonna cheat, I guess. But I've sort of always believed if you really want to have an affair or something, why don't you just, you might as well just end the marriage, because it doesn't feel like, I guess, look, maybe it's different for everyone, I'm sure. I just, from my own standpoint, I don't think I've got the logistical skills to handle that. But the documentary is really, really kind of fun to watch, and there's a little bit of hacking stuff in there, which of course is good. There's a beautiful story, actually, if you want to listen to a podcast that I just listened to on the dog walk, was the Darknet Diaries. The latest one is absolutely fascinating about this court judge, this American court judge, who is so traumatized by the attacks on the World Trade Center in 9/11 that she starts hunting, jihadists online, and it's a fascinating story. She's got a book too. I'll try to find the book. I might make that my next read. By the way, the Learn part of my Burn&Learn I have returned to. Oh my God. Poor James Gurdy must be just like laughing at this pathetic attempt at education that I'm doing. I'm back on Song of the Cell. And we're now talking about sort of pluripotent cells. This is sort of stem cells, basically. No, not stem cells. Stem cells are the stem cells are omnipotent, or they pluripotent means they can. I know the blood cells can basically, one cell can create not only copies of itself, but all the three different types of blood cells. And I think stem cells might be more than pluripotent. They might be. Is it omnipotent? Is that possible? I'm not sure what the term is. But anyways, fascinating read. Absolutely loving it. This is this book, which is basically the history of the cell and our understanding of the human cell, not the human cell, the cell in general. And it's done by this oncologist, so it's got this sort of cancerous approach to it, which is really, makes it really interesting and some pretty dark stuff. So how's your sister doing? Good, I think. I don't know. Your kid just had a birthday that I missed, unfortunately. Suki, hi from London. I think Kate's good. I mean, it's hard to tell. Wayne, I'll have to check in with her. The twins are good. They were here the other day. We had Dave's hot chicken. Oh, and they screwed up. They gave us this nuclear hot sauce, and we were all like sick as dogs, but we had fun watching. We watched soccer games, and then we watched horror movies, and it was great. My mother once ran into Patrick Stewart, and asked politely for an autograph, but unfortunately said he was extremely tired. I let her know he returning from Fan Expo. She felt so bad for asking. Oh, that's fair enough, though. Good for him. I mean, I think you got to be you got to stand up for yourself, and at the same time, I think it's your mom asked politely, and he responded politely, and that's fine. That seems like a good way to go. I mean, I've heard much more horrific stories, not about him, but about other people. Meeting in business dealing was such a great experience. William, I'm so happy. I'm so glad that it was not too miserable for you. I know a lot of people had a hard time with it, and I felt really bad about that. But if it's any consolation, I did enjoy geeking out with everyone, I must say. So, although I'm also really happy to be home, I got to say. Did you manage to figure out how to turn that mini Stargate off? I think I just ran the battery down. No. I think I did. You know what I did? I was worried about putting it in my checked bag because I didn't want anything to happen to it. So I put it in my hand luggage, and then I took it out of my hand luggage and put it in the overhead really carefully, and I put my jacket around it. And then some guy comes up with this freaking suitcase and starts going goom, goom, trying to get it in. He's like, why can't I get it? And I'm like, excuse me, sir, excuse me. There's a Stargate in there. I was like, people looked at me like I'm the weirdo, but I'm like, this is a really valuable Like, there's only two, and I'm babbling on about it. And flight attendant came over, and I was like, I said, look, I'm happy to move things for people, but I just please, could we stop smashing my goods into the back of this thing? Anyways, so everyone wanted to know what it was after that, because I had to open it up and show people on the plane and stuff. Anyways, did you mention? So there you go. When I'm not so sweaty, David, 30 seconds earlier, I'm always hot and sweaty. Yeah. I'm also a contradiction. I'm an enigma. I was wondering how accessible Disneyland was. Thanks for sharing. Jessica was telling you. Oh, good. Yeah, I think the sense I got from Disneyland when I was there, do I mean Disneyland or Disney World? Which is the one in California? The one in California, I got the sense they were pretty good for that. Wow, that's awesome to get one of the kind gifts like that. I bet that's a great feeling. Oh my God, there's some amazing. I got some amazing stuff. It's amazing. I saw you in the tent at the Lego stall, but left you because you were shopping. Oh, Kat, never have to worry about that. Never worry about interrupting my shopping. I got a whole bunch of little serial killers for Baz. I got little Lego serial killers. I got like Freddy and what is his name? Jason, and who else did I get? Oh God. Anyways, a whole bunch of them, including the Gorgon from Stranger Things as well. I just got a bunch of really terrifying Legos because I thought I'd get a kick out of it, and I was right. I always say I never feel like if I can't talk, I'll tell you I can't talk. So don't worry about that. All right, I find that cosplay really helps. It's like a little layer of armor between you and others. Being in the guise of a character you love can sometimes help. That's interesting. I mean, I think in a way we all cosplay, right? I mean, we all, when we, it was that Beatles song about the leaving your face in a jar by the door. You know what I mean? Like, I think we have our exterior cosplay and we have our own persona. And I think in a weird way, part of acting is just getting rid of that and sort of trying to show people, sort of what you're, in a weird way, it's both pretending to be other people and also being real. So I think this is an interesting sort of paradox there with the acting side of stuff. I feel like this stuff, I don't feel like I'm much different talking to this than I am to you, I guess I should say, instead of talking to my phone. I don't feel like I'm that much different. But there's always a certain persona that I think people put on. So I certainly don't put on any makeup or make myself look good. I should maybe work on that. But I like that idea that cosplay is like an armor that you can bring to the conventions. I think that's a really good idea, actually. I mean, that's certainly a great way to sort of, in a weird, you get out of your shell by putting on an outer shell. I like that. William saying hi to Kat. Hi, Kat. It was the picture of you I borrowed indefinitely. What? Looking a little cross-eyed. I always look a little cross-eyed, don't I? Sometimes it takes extra effort to train the algorithm for your own preferences and ultimately safety. What are we talking about here? There's stuff going on I don't even know about. Not William H. Macy. He's still going, I think. No, it wasn't William H. Macy. What was his name? Very tragic, wonderful actor. He was in the original. What's it called? There's a series on now. The Talented Mr. Ripley. He was in the original Talented Mr. Ripley, and he's just a brilliant actor. I'm doing a webinar, so I can't hear anything, but I see the chat responses, and I'm having to fill in the blanks. Good luck with this, Elizabeth with a Z. Was so lovely to meet you at Basingstoke, Australia next time. Oh, great, fantastic. Yeah, someone get me invited to Australia. I'm happy to go back there. We're in New Zealand. I love New Zealand. I know it's not the same as Australia, but there are two places that I absolutely love, Australia and New Zealand. So maybe I remember at one year we did a bunch of tours around, did a bunch of conventions around Australia, which was fantastic. And then we went to New Zealand and did a couple there, and it was just extraordinary visit. It was amazing. Thanks for the awesomeness that is McKay. His redemption arc from SG1 made him beloved character SGA. Great to see you back. Thank you very much. Arcrus, thank you very much. I was just thinking yesterday, I need to start a new SGA binge. Well, now, Jordan, why don't we start an exercise binge instead? There you go. Well, not instead. You do it as well. Tell the aliens it's retracted a message. Family comes first. Yeah, it does. The problem is my son. I know he plays football. Gosh darn kids. Damn active. Basingstoke was so long lines, but worth to meet you. Oh, I'm glad that's the case, William. I always think it is. Greetings and salutations to you, John D. Brewer. Xenos, how are you, buddy? Kat, the way I see it with the Basingstoke Con, the organization was a mess, but the memories and friends outweigh the negative. Yeah, it's like a badly organized wedding. Dude, click the like button. What? How do I click the like button? How do I even do that? Fallout series is great. Oh, good. I've watched 2, so far I've been enjoying it so far. So, all right, my kid should be home. Speaking of my kid, he should be home soon, so I should probably wrap up. Football should be played with your feet. No, I believe so. Bad Wolf, Mastermind, D. Hewlett. I got off work just in time to catch the live streams. Fantastic. I do it just for you. It's Bad Wolf 77. That's why my schedule's entirely yours. I hope you stream Barnacles again. You two have great conversations together. I know. I want to get back to it. It's as I say, it's just unfortunately. Not unfortunately, it's fun. I'm watching my son play soccer, and it's great. I love it. Also, there's a really good coffee shop there, so I got a really good coffee as well. David, what is the learn portion of the Burn and Learn today? Oh, sorry, Rebel Time Lady. I mentioned it, but only briefly. Song of the Cell. I'm on the chapter about pluripotent cells that can differentiate into basically copies of them. I'm sorry, they can copy themselves. They can also differentiate into different cells. So the ones that they're talking about right now are the actual blood cells. So this is, I can't remember the name of this nice, long, complicated, intelligent-sounding name. That is the cell that can differentiate into red blood cells, white blood cells, and nucleotides. Is that right? Is that the third element? So that's what I've been listening to today on the. It was only 20 minutes. I mean, I'm sort of embarrassed that that's all I could muster. But I've been off it for someone said, was it 3 months? I feel it 3 months and God knows how many freaking calories. I really got to kick my butt and get back into exercise. Okay, turn on the sound at a really weird time. Okay, John Brewer. So David, have you seen any of the? I've not seen the new cutie Doctor Who yet. That's a good point. Is it new cutie? Is the cutie? Is that his name? Is that? I've not seen anything yet. I haven't. To be honest, I haven't seen Doctor Who in years. I literally haven't watched Doctor Who in absolute years. The last Doctor Who I watched was literally Tom. I'm gonna stop saying literally now. Tom Baker. But I was watching it on a DVD that I've dug up these old DVDs I had, and there was some Tom Baker time. It was the Time Crystals episodes, a series of crystals about a series of episodes about time crystals, and the Keys of Time. Was it Keys of Time? or the Crystals of Time. I can't remember now. And it was just so much fun to watch the old episodes. I miss the shaky sets and the rubbery monsters. This something that I feel that CG is robbing me of some of that Doctor Who stuff. I think it's one of the reasons why I'm such a big Guillermo del Toro fan, is that he does as much as he can with the physical stuff. Although, Pacific Rim, he uses digital effects as well. But I think it's how they're used, and I feel like Doctor Who always had some pretty dubious special effects. But there's something about dubious practical effects that I like more than dubious CG effects, like computer generated stuff. So there you go. That's my excuse. Although, as I say, I just haven't seen it yet. Hey, education comes in many forms. That's true. That's true. They've ruined Doctor Who. Oh no, have they? Jinx Monsoon is trying, but isn't a terrifying threat yet. Are there any upcoming projects you're particularly excited about? Well, I don't want to ruin my newsletter, because I've got a newsletter coming out very soon. But one of them is actually an escape room based thing, which is happening, which I'm very excited about. And then I got a job, acting wise, I've got a job in Newfoundland, isn't it grand? Newfoundland. I freaking love Newfoundland. They're like, oh, it's only a couple of days, but it's spread out over a week. I'm not sure if you're going to. I'm like, yes. I was like, yes, I will spend a week in Newfoundland anytime you want. I'm very, very happy. Let's go, nerd talk. Love it. Nerd talk. Love it. Or just let's go, nerd talk. Love it. No, I think it's actually let's go, nerd talk. I love it. Maybe we should get Barnacles to change his schedule to fit David's. No, I don't want to mess with their schedule. They've got the boys have their thing. Love to Huzzah. Dogs are favorite people. Loved your slobbery Facebook post when you got, oh my God, is she? Is she around here somewhere? She's not. Oh, she's lying. I don't know if you can. Well, you probably won't see her, but she's lying under the table outside right now, in just a pile of dirt. It's ridiculous. Like she's just. Let's see if I can show you. Does that show you? Can you see her out there? That's her under the table. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't see on my camera. Educate us. What? Educate us. What's to tell you? There are two different types of stem cells. So there's this. So I see. So when you say there's two types of stem cells, there's one for blood and one for other cells. Is that right? Wow, it's McKay. YouTube is awesome. Quick question: do you still keep in touch with other SGA cast? I do now. I just saw them all. In Basingstoke. It was amazing. What have you and everyone been up to? Hope you all. That's a loaded question. God, there's a lot. Everyone's been up to everything. I'm trying to convince Rachel to move back to Toronto. I just think her and the kids and the family would have fun there. That's all. But she's debating a move. Maybe I'm thinking Toronto could be the place for her. The Y Files on YouTube just did a VI. The Y Files on YouTube just did a VI. What is that? Yeah, standing up for yourself is important. It is important. It's true. I still need to watch the new Who episodes. I promised I'd watch them with my mom, and I'm struggling, but she promised. But the promise is to be kept. It must be kept. Hey, how you doing, David? Been a while. I hope you and the family are doing well. Very good, Matt. Thank you. Very, very well indeed. Jane is still in Cairns. I am. So I'm doing, breakfasts and dog walks, and quite enjoying it, I must say. The flowers are in bloom, and I'm back in the lab for a bit, which is nice. It's sort of fairly comfortable in here. Boiling hot, but fairly comfortable. So I'm just sort of playing with some stuff. My friend James set me up with this giant old server, this PowerEdge server. So I've just got an 8 terabyte drive installed on it, and I'm trying to figure out how to install Linux. So I want to get a couple of Linux running. I want to get a Linux virtual machine running on it so that I can maybe play around with maybe some Minecraft servers or something. See, whatever the kid's into, I'll see what they're up for. What else we got? I think something a lot of people forget that I learned growing up in Hawaii. Famous people are just people. No, I don't believe it. I'm superhuman. Fight through the episodes. There are good portions of what? Of Doctor Who? Mr. Clean Tracy says, hi, David. Hi, Mr. Clean Tracy. And Easy Sparky, how are you? David, I really miss the old Twitch streams that were weekly. Will those be coming back at all? I hope so, Wormhole. Yeah, I mean, what I'll start doing is both of them. I think I'll do the Twitch and the YouTube together is the goal. So we'll see how that works. Yeah, I mean to go back to that. It's weird. These impromptu ones are for some reason a little easier for me to. Well, what am I saying? No, they're not, because I haven't done this either. I think to start, my first mission is to get back to the Burn and Learns. and get the newsletters out. The newsletters will have a YouTube element that I will add, and then I will work on getting Twitch as well. But right now, it just feels like the week is just carved into lots of tiny little pieces. Jessica says, I was in a wheelchair at the time. It was honestly so easy to queue for the rides. The Y-Files video on AI and CRISPR was one very scary video of what could happen. Oh, cool, Wayne. I'll have a look. That's interesting. I mean, because AI, one of the things that they talked about a lot at Bio IT World, which is a great conference for this kind of stuff, was how we're throwing AI at everything, even in the biotech world as well, and that it's not necessarily right for everything, but that it can also be incredibly useful. Yeah, I'll have to see what the Y-Files are about. I'll check that out in a minute. Thanks, Wayne. I'll check that out because because CRISPR is fascinating, AI is fascinating. I'd love to see what they're doing together. So, you took a Stargate through. I took a Stargate through the airport. I wish I took a Stargate through the airport. I would kill to skip the airports. So, David, no. Why has I gone back to all the old ones now? Oh my God, there's so many comments. Holy cow! Hello, everyone. Ronan's gun props. Has he got one of those? Does Shepard still carry a lemon? No. But I do like to tease Joe now by texting him periodically with information about what I've had for breakfast. He likes it. He doesn't really. I assume the fourth of the guy used to work on the set, and I guess he got it. What's happened here? I just held a review. Do you prefer Twitch or YouTube for streaming? I'm asking as someone who's just getting back to streaming. I'm used to Twitch, but I hear YouTube is pretty great. Bud the Broken. So here's the sense I get from it. The Twitch is a much better streaming environment. Like, it's a much better system for streaming than YouTube. I find YouTube a little kludgy that way. That said, the discoverability on Twitch is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Like, YouTube, it's very easy for people to find this stuff. It's very easy to sort of archive it and have it up there. And so, I don't know. I mean, I think it sort of depends. I've been doing, you can now do both. You're allowed to do both. So you can set up like OBS to stream to both your YouTube and your Twitch channel, and it's a bit confusing because you've got two different chats and stuff. But I've started doing that because I feel like then I get the best of both worlds. I get the discoverability of YouTube and the fun tools and tricks and stuff that you can do with Twitch. My wonderful friend Cal, who did not come to Basingstoke, I might add. Which is probably a good thing now I think about it. Boy, she would have been grumpy. Wow. Could you imagine Cal the Hammer at Basingstoke? That would have been something to watch. Something to behold, in fact. But my friend Cal says that that Twitch is better, and that she basically says I'm on my own if I go to YouTube. So I think I'll probably stick with Twitch. What do we got? I assume what we got here. Also, hi buddy, you got a good sweat going? Yeah, anonymous friend, I'll say. This is because of the exercise. This is it, 20 minutes, and I'm a dead man. It's ridiculous. Hello, David. Pleasure to meet you, Basingstoke. Amazing to see you like the Gate replica so far. It's so great. It's absolutely gorgeous. Is this you, Cephalmar? Was that you who created the Gate? Because it's absolutely freaking gorgeous. I've been showing everyone. 12th grader. Nope. Can't understand that. Long time no see. Glad I'm finally able to catch you live again. I miss trolling you, Dave. Indeed, Anima Confusa. Where have you been? God, prayer, love, and light. Okay, sure. I don't actually believe in God, but okay. YouTube is better discoverability, but Twitch is more specialized. Much better way of putting it. Thank you. Very good, Empress Tatya. Are you going to see the new Planet of the Apes movie? Baz has been hounding me to watch Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I'm like, no. I don't want to watch a movie that I'm in. I've already seen it. I don't want to, Anyways, he wants to watch that again because he wants to go and see the new one. He's really excited about it. I'm really excited about Furiosa. Can't wait to see Furiosa. I really hope it's good. Please be good. It's just, Road Warrior was one of my favorite movies of all time. And Fury Road, I think, is probably in my top 10 made movies of all time. And I've watched it like 20 times now, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, beautiful film. And so I'm really hoping that Furiosa works because he's a great director, and the whole Mad Max world is just, that's just brilliant. I always had fantasies of ending up in a desert somewhere, driving around with I don't know, some apocalyptic future, but without the apocalypse part. Maybe like a happy get along. Maybe just like some kind of like a car show in the desert. There you go. That's more my style. Thanks for your opinion. You're welcome, bud. No problem. Aslan Beck, hello to you. But from moderator's perspective, Twitch has a vastly better suite of moderation tools. That's what Cal says, anyways. How was the con for you? Heard it was hot, and RDA was signing into the night. Yeah, RDA was a machine. I can't believe how amazingly he did on that. I think there were a number of issues that led to that. I think originally it was going to be 2 days with Jason, and then that couldn't happen, so they had to sort of patch them all into one, which just set everything off on a it's no one's fault there. That is purely, I think, a scheduling issue thing. So it's not. I'm not blaming Jason for that or the convention for that. There was I think they'd hoped for 2 days. They couldn't work it out, so it was 1 day. So that set things back a lot. Also, RDA wants to say hi to people. RDA is a bit like me that way, I think. Where he actually wants to say hi to people, and so he took longer time with it and was willing to do that, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I try to do that as well. I mean, I obviously don't have nearly the kind of lineups that he was dealing with, and also he doesn't do a lot of conventions, so there's just this was a chance for people to see him that wouldn't normally see him, so there were a lot of people there to make the most of it. Oh, I see my son moving around in the glass out there, so I'm gonna take off. Thank you all very much for another very enjoyable Burn and Learn. Let's hope I'm talking to you soon, because that means I'll be exercising again soon. So be safe, be kind, be brilliant. What is it? What did we change? I think I changed it to be brave, didn't I? Be brave, be kind, be brilliant. I preferred that one, I think. So anyway, so be brave, be kind, be brilliant. And until we geek again, I'll say cheerio. Cheerio! Huzzah! And I've forgotten how to do everything, so I don't even know how to stop this. Anyways, everyone, thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the chats. It's just there's a lot of people talking. My God. Thank you very much. Okay, stopping now. Here we go. Bye. See ya.